Shuffled around the lineup there a little bit. What was sort of the thinking there, and just get guys, some players different looks?
Yeah, really just trying to maybe take some pressure off some people who have been feeling it a little bit the last few weeks, and just trying to give some more at-bats to maybe some younger ones. And I mean, I think we could shuffle it back, but if I was going to make a change, I didn't want to do it Friday night. I thought tonight might be the first time to do it, but a lot of confidence in all of them, and I think especially Kiara with how often she gets on base and her on base percentage, I thought she'd be a good one to have in front of Sierra and somebody on base at the top of the order.
Took a couple innings to get it going, but once they did, it started scoring runs in bunches.
Yeah, we talked about that after the game. I think we played some midweeks or some of these non-conference games where when we don't score right away, we start to tighten up and get a little tense. And I thought we did a really good job of learning from that over the last few weeks. And we just kind of stayed with our process, found ways to have quality at-bats, and second time through the lineup, get on the board. And I thought that was huge, just not putting too much pressure on ourselves, not worrying about the ranking or the name on the team across from us on the field there. So once they got going, I thought we stayed a little bit more relaxed, and you could really see just contagious quality at-bats up and down the lineup there.
And Delaney was putting up zeros during that time.
Yes.
To keep you in the game.
Huge help. I mean, when she's out there just being so efficient, just having short innings, and getting us back in the dugout, even after maybe a leadoff hit or whatever it was, she was just fighting for her team every time to get back in the dugout, and I thought they did a great job backing her up with some big defensive plays, but she really just, I thought, set the tone and really just helped us settle in and get some runs on the board to support her.
SEC games from here on out, so does that, you feel like that can help your players knowing that it's everything's within their control going forward for the next month or so?
Yeah, I mean, we're excited to be done with the non-conference slate. It's a grind, it's a lot of games that are just as important, if not more so, than our SEC games when it comes to your postseason outlook. And so just, I think it's nice to be able to finish out our non-conference on a high note, and to help us kind of lock back in for SEC play. And we're excited for it. We love the challenge and the competition of our conference. That's why everyone in this building is here, is to compete at the highest level in the SEC. So we're excited to get back into conference play. Really, I think the big thing is it allows us to have a little more time to prepare. It's tough when you've got a midweek and then an SEC and then a midweek. You're spending maybe one and a half practice days preparing for some really important games. So now it gives us a little more time to maybe rest some players, but then also prepare and make sure that we're ready to go when we get to Knoxville this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know how much scout you've done on Tennessee, but obviously you know how hard Pickens throws. I mean, you guys hit her last year, so our pitching machine's going to be cranked all the way up.
Oh yeah, they're going to be cranked up. Yeah. Mata and Loza are going to be throwing from about 10 feet away, and we're going to do everything we can to just get them prepared so that when they get in the box, we feel like we've seen the velocity, and it's always different in game, but we want to do everything in our power to make sure we're prepared for the velo.
Go ahead.
I was going to say Tennessee, they're 5-4 in the league, but they play the league schedule too, so you know they're going to be tough no matter what the.
Oh yeah, I mean they're one of the perennial powers in this league, and I think it's always fun to compete against them. And just the history of that program, they've won the SEC the last few years and what they've been able to do. So we're excited for it. Love playing in Knoxville. Their crowds are always great as well. And I think just the competitiveness and being able to go toe-to-toe in the top 20 matchup is going to be a lot of fun.
Only just talk about your outing, just throwing up zeros where your offense could catch up and get you the runs you needed. Just talk about your performance.
Yeah, well, based on the offense, the defense was also there to help me out. Definitely not a one-man show out there. Being able to rely on my defense, getting soft contact, and trusting my defense behind me, knowing that like Kylie, Morgan, and Morgan Styles, everywhere across the field were able to back me up today, so that helped out a lot.
I know it's been a little bit more of a slow build for you this year coming off an injury, but how does it feel to be able to throw more innings and today with the help of your teammates finish a complete game?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely working on efficiency, getting me through as fast of innings as possible, being efficient, working through the strike zone, finding the umpire strike zone early and often, and again, just using my defense to help me get out of jams or any situations to make it a little bit quicker for me, so yeah.
Yeah, and it's not always striking everybody out, but you can get batters out on one or two pitches by rolling a ground ball, so has that always sort of been your key is getting that weak contact?
Yeah, so I usually tell the girls just miss the bat enough and then it should work. So that's basically the mindset. I do know that I'm not a strikeout pitcher, but if I get them to miss enough, it is producing softer contact and able to let my defense just work, and I trust them enough to let that happen. So.
Yeah, so the first time through, I know the offense didn't, compete the way you guys wanted to, but you were able to jump on the pitcher right away the second time, and you were able to start that rally. So, what did you guys sort of learn that first trip through the order, and how do you apply it for your next at bat?
Well, I think it was the mindset of the midweek games. We kind of start to put our pressure on ourselves after we go through that first time and if we don't score. So I think this midweek we just took the pressure off and was like, listen, if we don't get it done the first time, it's going to get done the second time. So I think actually relaxing and like knowing we're going to get it done really helped too.
Coach talked about finishing the non-conference season strong. Do you feel like y'all did that as well?
I think we did. I think the midweeks are very important, especially this last one, to get out the way before we continue SEC play. So I think we came out, we scored, and we were able to end it in 5. So.
And then, does it help, do you think, mentally just to have all SEC games from here on out? Obviously, you'll be able to rest a little bit more during the week, but just not to have to think about playing a non-conference game. It's all full speed ahead on trying to win an SEC championship and put yourselves in the best position possible for the postseason.
Well, definitely. I think it gives us more time to focus on their pitchers too, and just give us more like in-depth where we're not just focusing on a midweek pitcher on a Tuesday practice and then only getting that Thursday to work on their pitchers. Now we're going to be able to get that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on just their pitchers. So I think it's going to be a big advantage for us moving forward.
You got a game from Tennessee last year, could have taken another one as well. So, what are you expecting from them? Obviously, they've got probably the hardest thrower in the country right now, but what do you think they're going to bring at you?
I think, it's going to be tough. She's really good, so I think just going up there and just not letting her beat you before you're in the box is very key.